Welcome to a place of peace, where calming stories await to guide you into rest. Tonight, let go of the day's worries and find comfort in timeless tales of faith, love, and hope. These stories, drawn from the Bible, are filled with gentle moments and words meant to soothe your heart and soul. As you listen, allow each story to paint soft pictures in your mind. Scenes of still waters, golden fields, and starry skies. Here you are safe, loved, and cared for, with nothing to do but breathe deeply and let peace fill you. May these words bring you calm and remind you that you are never alone. Now, settle in, close your eyes, and let's begin our journey together, slowly drifting into rest, wrapped in the gentle presence of these ancient, comforting stories. The creation story, Genesis 1 to 2. An expansive tale of how the world came to be, with a focus on harmony and peace. In the beginning, everything was quiet and still, wrapped in the deep darkness of night. Then, a soft glow began to fill the vast emptiness as God whispered, "Let there be light," and gentle light spread across the heavens. As the days passed, God carefully formed each part of the world with love and intention. He spoke, and the sky stretched out above the waters, a deep, endless blue. On the third day, God gathered the waters into calm seas, letting dry land rise up. Trees and plants sprouted from the earth, their leaves soft and green, bending in a light breeze. Flowers of every color opened their petals to the sun, filling the air with a gentle fragrance. God placed the sun in the sky, its warm light spreading over the land, then the moon to glow softly in the night, surrounded by twinkling stars. Birds filled the sky, flying gracefully from branch to branch, singing gentle melodies. Fish swam in the clear, sparkling waters, weaving through the gentle currents. On the sixth day, God created animals to walk the land, soft lambs, majestic lions, and playful deer. Each creature found its place in this peaceful world. And finally, with love, God created humans in his own image, inviting them to live in harmony with all that he had made. On the seventh day, God rested, a quiet, satisfied smile upon his face, for everything he created was good and beautiful. The world was a place of calm, peace, and wonder, a perfect home for all. Psalm 23, the Shepherd's Psalm. A psalm of comfort and rest, unfolding in serene imagery. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Imagine a shepherd guiding his flock with gentleness, leading them to places of peace. He takes them to green pastures, where the grass is soft underfoot, and they can rest in safety. The shepherd knows each of his sheep, calling them by name, and they trust him completely. He leads them beside still waters, where the gentle flow of the stream whispers softly, inviting them to drink and be refreshed. In the coolness of the morning, the shepherd walks with his flock, guiding them away from rocky paths and leading them to open fields bathed in golden light. Even when shadows gather and the path seems dark, the shepherd walks close by, his rod and staff in hand, always ready to protect. In his presence, there is no fear. The sheep feel his love, and they know they are safe. The shepherd blesses his flock, watching over them as they rest in the green pastures. Surely goodness and mercy will follow them all the days of their lives, and they will dwell in this place of peace, forever held in the shepherd's care. Psalm 23, the Shepherd's Psalm. A psalm of comfort and rest, unfolding in serene imagery. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Imagine a shepherd guiding his flock with gentleness, leading them to places of peace. He takes them to green pastures, where the grass is soft underfoot, and they can rest in safety. The shepherd knows each of his sheep, calling them by name, and they trust him completely. He leads them beside still waters, where the gentle flow of the stream whispers softly, inviting them to drink and be refreshed. In the coolness of the morning, the shepherd walks with his flock, guiding them away from rocky paths and leading them to open fields bathed in golden light. Even when shadows gather and the path seems dark, the shepherd walks close by, his rod and staff in hand, always ready to protect. In his presence, there is no fear. The sheep feel his love, and they know they are safe. The shepherd blesses his flock, watching over them as they rest in the green pastures. Surely goodness and mercy will follow them all the days of their lives, and they will dwell in this place of peace, forever held in the shepherd's care. Jesus calms the storm. Mark 4:35-41, an image of calm overcoming chaos. As evening approached, Jesus and his disciples climbed into a small boat to cross the Sea of Galilee. The water was smooth, and a soft breeze filled the air as they set out. The sky turned from blue to a gentle rose as the sun dipped low, casting golden light over the waves. Jesus, weary from the day's work, lay down and soon drifted into a peaceful sleep. Suddenly, dark clouds rolled in, and the winds began to howl, stirring the waves into towering crests. The boat rocked and dipped, tossed by the churning waters. The disciples, filled with worry, clung to the boat, fear creeping into their hearts. Water splashed over the sides, and the wind howled, drowning out their voices. But Jesus, resting at the back of the boat, lay undisturbed. When his disciples woke him, he rose with calm, looking out over the storm. With a quiet but powerful voice, he said, "Peace, be still." The winds softened, the waves smoothed, and the sea lay still as glass, reflecting the faint light of the evening stars. The disciples stood in awe, their fears washed away by the calm that now surrounded them. They felt the peace Jesus brought, a reminder that even in the fiercest storms, he brings calm. The parable of the mustard seed, Matthew 13:31 to 32. A quiet, hopeful story of growth and resilience. Jesus told his followers a story about a tiny mustard seed, a seed so small you could hardly see it on the tip of your finger. Yet, this tiny seed, when planted, begins to grow quietly, day by day. Though it starts small, the seed puts down roots, reaching deep into the soil, drawing strength from the earth. In time, the mustard seed grows into a tree, stretching tall with branches wide and strong. Birds come from far and wide, finding rest in its branches. They build their nests, filling the tree with the gentle sound of chirping as the leaves sway peacefully in the breeze. The tree becomes a place of shelter and safety, where even the smallest creatures find a home. Jesus explained that faith, even as small as a mustard seed, can grow into something wonderful and powerful, filling our lives with peace, strength, and purpose. It starts small, but it blossoms, giving comfort and hope to others. The lost sheep, Luke 15:3-7, an image of love and care, capturing the joy of being found. A shepherd had 100 sheep, each one dear to him. Every night, he would count his flock to make sure each one was safe. But one evening, as he counted, he realized one sheep was missing. The shepherd's heart ached, knowing that one of his beloved sheep was alone in the cold, dark night. Without a second thought, he left the 99 safe in their fold and set out to find the lost sheep. Through the quiet fields and up the hills, he called out, his voice echoing in the stillness. Finally, he heard a faint bleat in the distance. There, tangled in a bush, was his lost sheep, trembling and frightened. With gentle hands, the shepherd freed it and lifted it into his arms. He carried the sheep close to his heart, whispering comforting words as he walked back to the flock. When he returned, he called to his friends and neighbors, "Rejoice with me, I have found my sheep that was lost." His heart was full, knowing his flock was complete once again. Ruth and Boaz, Book of Ruth, a tale of kindness, compassion, and provision. Ruth was a young woman who had come to live in a new land with her mother-in-law, Naomi. Each morning, Ruth went out to the fields, where workers gathered the grain. She would walk slowly, bending to pick up what was left behind, grateful for every handful. The fields stretched out wide under the open sky, the air filled with the soft rustle of the crops swaying in the breeze. One day, Boaz, the kind owner of the field, noticed Ruth and asked about her. Learning of her loyalty to Naomi, Boaz instructed his workers to leave extra grain for Ruth to gather. As she worked, Boaz came to her and gently said, "May the Lord reward you for your kindness." Ruth's heart filled with gratitude, feeling blessed by his care. Over time, Boaz and Ruth grew closer, and soon they married, building a life of kindness and love. Their home became a place of peace and blessing, not only for them, but for others around them. A reminder of how love and kindness can turn even the smallest acts into something beautiful. Elijah and the Whisper of God, 1 Kings 19:11 to 13, a scene of quiet reflection and the soft presence of God. Elijah, weary and troubled, journeyed to a mountain to seek God. He longed for peace, needing to hear God's voice in his heart. As he stood waiting, a strong wind roared around him, fierce and powerful. But God was not in the wind. Then, an earthquake shook the ground, rumbling through the rocks, but still, God was not there. Finally, a soft, quiet whisper filled the air, gentle and warm. Elijah felt peace wash over him, for he knew that God was near, speaking to him in the stillness. Sometimes, God speaks in a quiet whisper, a reminder that even in silence, we are not alone. He is close, with a love as gentle as the breeze.